West Bloomfield hoping to come out with the upset tonight against their neighbors in the Eaglets, just a little bit north of them down Orchard Lake Road. The host of the event, of course, is West Bloomfield High School. Their principal, Eric Pace, joins us now as we preview the big game tonight. Eric, thank you so much for being with us.
Thanks for having me, Tyler.
Glad to have you on. It's a very exciting time of the year, as it always is near the end of these sports seasons, especially when our Lakers are in position to potentially compete for a state championship. But tonight, it kind of starts with a very familiar matchup between them, with their neighbors down the road from Orchard Lake St. Mary's, and a rematch of what was their final game in 2024. So what's the vibe over at West Bloomfield High School as they get ready for this huge game tonight on their home floor?
A lot of excitement. We had a great end-of-game win the other night against Walled Lake Central to win by 2 as time expired. We had our girls finish their regular season last night with a big win. We have our Winterfest Spirit Week next week, and it all culminates tonight with our matchup against Orchard Lake St. Mary's.
So when you have a matchup like this, where it's not only your kids competing for a state championship, it's one step closer to that dream. But now you also have, it's a school that's right down the road from you. A lot of these kids have known each other. Some have known each other, especially those in the basketball scene, for their entire life. How do you think that maybe adds to sort of the storyline behind this game tonight, and maybe the level of competition we'll see between two student sections that love to show out for their teams?
Yeah, absolutely. Just being a couple miles down the road and in the community together heightens that rivalry a bit. The students knowing each other, both in the student sections and on the court. And I think that's what makes high school sports and just the high school community so special, is that sense of competitiveness and rivalry and knowing everybody, right? The effort increases, the energy increases, and you usually get a good product out of it.
And so we had that exciting game earlier on this week, the district semifinal against another familiar foe in Walled Lake Central High School, a game that ended 56-54. Take us through that moment, too, for a team that had lost 11 straight games. Maybe the fans were even going into it saying, hey, look, it's exciting, we're in the playoffs, but we're mentally preparing ourselves to maybe have this be the end of the season. Then you have a 2-point victory, and all of a sudden you're hosting a district final. Take us through that experience from earlier on this week.
Yeah, so as you stated, our regular season record isn't what we were hoping for, but in typical fashion for West Bloomfield, with our athletic director, Eric Pierce, and our coaches for boys basketball, that's Arnett Jordan, they build together the toughest schedules in the state. And in doing so, we make sure that we have difficult competition that raises our game on a night-to-night basis. So we are better than our record would demonstrate just based on that alone. And especially from last year's district championship game where we played St. Mary's, and we took them down to the wire. That's the #1 team in the state. We know they're good, but so are we. And we put our things together all at the right times. I think we got a shot.
And Coach Darren McAllister from the girls basketball team, defending champions in their own right, they start their playoff campaign next week. He talks all throughout the season about money in the bank. We're playing for March. We're not playing for today. We're not playing for tomorrow's game. Our record isn't necessarily what matters. What matters is picking up W's in March when it's win or go home. So how has maybe the boys team sort of embraced that mindset also under the leadership of Arnett Jordan, who it's easy to coach a team when they're really good on paper, they're winning games, and they got that excitement behind them. But you really see the character of a team from the players and the coaching staff when they face a little bit of that adversity and overcome it.
Yeah, I think that exposure to adversity is what makes a team, right? It's not just a collective of individuals. Our team is team-oriented. They're a group that will pick each other up. At any given night, somebody different is going to be the one that provides that spark or that effort that makes everybody else better. So, in boys basketball and girls basketball, knowing that all teams make playoffs, we really make sure that we build a schedule, like you said, that puts money in the bank for us to spend when it comes playoff time.
Eric Pace is with us. He is the principal of West Bloomfield High School. Very exciting night on the way over at WB. The West Bloomfield Lakers playing home team tonight on their home court against the #1 team in the state according to the MHSAA's Division I ranking, and the #4 team overall in the state of Michigan's basketball campaign by Max Breps and so many others in Orchard Lake St. Mary's. So take us through what you believe makes this team, and you have at West Bloomfield, ready to take on the defending champions tonight and come out with a huge upset to dethrone the champions, upset their neighbors, and continue a magical playoff campaign as we go into March?
Yeah, a lot of credit to Orchard Lake St. Mary's. They've put together a team of players that they're really difficult to stop. They can score from anywhere, and they have tenacious defense. And we saw that in the district semifinal game that they played, forcing a lot of turnovers up at midcourt and really taking advantage of that. So for West Bloomfield, we have a team where we know we can score. We can put it in from three. We can drive the lane. We got a lot of size to put back rebounds. And we just need to continue to keep our spacing and our discipline to make sure we're not turning the ball over and giving them extra opportunities. On the defensive end of the floor, we know we can run with them. We can get up at the rim with them. So if we stay to our game plan and execute that, I know it'll be considered an upset on paper, but I know we've got the athletes to compete.
Everybody's going to be looking at Trey McKinney, the McDonald's All-American. Sherrod Barnes from Orchard Lake St. Mary's, who just surpassed 1,000 career points for the Eaglets. But not many people are going to be looking at the big stat from the last few games. Curtis Britton shooting 52% earlier on this week from the field against Walled Lake Central. He's been scoring over 20 points a game, 23.3 points per game in the last three matchups for the West Bloomfield Lakers. They've got some ball players themselves. An exciting matchup tonight at West Bloomfield. What's your prediction? Of course, Lakers victory, but how do you think it's going to shake out?
Looking at the game script from the other night against Walled Lake Central, we got off to a real slow start and had to kind of climb our way back. I expect us to look a lot better right out of the gate. If we keep the pressure on and play our game, I think it'll be a close back and forth game. You'll see each team take the lead at some point. I think it's going to come down to the wire, and I might have a little bias, but I predict that you'll see Kurt Britton once again coming through in the clutch.
I just like good basketball, and we got some
Absolutely.
great players out there, great ball players from the Eaglets, great ball players from the Lakers, and it's going to be a really well-coached game between Arnett Jordan of WB and the defending champion Todd Covert, coaching his alma mater at Orchard Lake St. Mary's. Eric, thank you so much for being with us.
Anytime, Tyler. Go Lakers.